There. No, I didn't want to do that. I'll put you down there. There we go. Marvellous. We're live. We live. To an audience of none. Okay, hello there. We are, in this video, we're going to look at Jürgen TFHH's Supercolor CPU board, which provides a replacement card for the the Atari 400 machine, and since the CPU card is responsible for housing the Antic GTI and CPU chips, Jürgen's designed a board which replaces the whole thing. It carries the original ICs, but it also outputs an S-video signal, composite video, and audio, which you can route to a jack on the machine, or you can make the cable come out the back of the machine. I've opted for a video jack, a standard 5-pin video jack on the back of the machine. The 400 didn't originally have any kind of monitor output at all. It just had an RF lead that was sort of hardwired into the machine, so we've removed that, and now the machine has a proper monitor jack. And I expected the video output to be far superior to, for example, the sort of hack S-video modification which you can find on the internet for the Atari 400, which I've done before on another person's machine. This isn't my machine, but the video quality of this of Jürgen's board is predictably vastly superior to what you would get from that kind of hack modification. So most of this work, pretty much because of the bad run of luck I had with the 600 XL in the previous series of videos. I hadn't done videos for a while, and boy did I have a baptism of fire when I came back to it, because it wasn't that many things went wrong, but there was enough. There was problems with the video cable, the VBXE video cable. The stereo board was very difficult to situate in the machine because of the size constraints, and finally we ended up in the last video, I think, discovering that the second Pokey chip was bad. And I made a correction to that video because I was led to believe, not so much led to believe, but I sort of assumed that the owner had purchased the Pokey chip, the second Pokey chip for the stereo board, from Atari. That wasn't the case. The second Pokey chip that was bad came out of the owner's spares box, so clarified that. So but Atari, he's not even selling Pokey chips anymore now. I presume he's run out of stock, and the price of these Pokey chips has gone up quite considerably. So I think of all the VLSIs on the 8-bit Atari, we could really do with a new supply of Pokey chips, because the price has gone through the roof at the moment. As I say, Atari isn't selling them anymore. They're a little bit less expensive. Well, actually, no, they're not. The price I saw and someone was selling one on eBay in America for $29. So the price is really, at the moment, due to the shortage of supplies, pretty much out of control. And I've just about run out of them now, so it's a bit of a problem. But anyway, let's get into this. Let's get into what we're doing here. So let's have a little look at what we've done. Now, yeah, what I was going to say was that I've done most of this work offline because of it seemed to be tempting fate to try and do a lot of close soldering and on this board live on camera. It just I had the feeling it would just go wrong for some reason. But so I cobbled it together with the original lead that Jürgen puts in the box the other night, just a direct connection to the jack on the power board, and I had the thing working in about 25 minutes. So knowing that it was going to work, I decided to come back to it later, and I'll show you what I've done with it anyway. And it's a really nice piece of kit. So if you have an Atari 400 and you're currently using the RF video signal, it's an absolute no-brainer to get hold of one of these boards while they're available. And you can purchase them from Jürgen, and I will give some kind of link in the description. I've been quite remiss with when it's come to putting promised information in the links, but I'll try to do that. So there's the board anyway. I can take this out. Well, I won't at the moment because we'll get to that in a second. So there's the board. Let's get a nice view of the board in situ. Supercolor CPU card V 1.2 by TFHH. There's just one F. Yeah, it's been a tiring weekend just because of the heat. We're just not used to the heat in the United Kingdom, and boy, it really takes it out of you when you're not used to it. So there we go. So that's the original CPU Antic and GTI. Now the eagle-eyed among you will see pads. Whoa, what's happened to our colour? Blimey. There you are, colour balance. I got a bit overwhelmed by the greens, I think. You see that there's pads for incognito right in the middle of the board there. With halt and what else? Halt and ready signals, which are essential for operation of the incognito. So this is good for an 800 as well. So if you've got an 800 computer, it is an absolute no-brainer. I'm not sure how much these cost to purchase, but it's a no-brainer to go out and buy one of these. Go on, focus in. And if anybody's watching, and I'm relying on you to tell me if this microphone works well. Before I started the last stream, I noticed that the mic, the receiver for the wireless microphone, wouldn't sync up. So I bought another one of these things, these Kongin Chinese radio AM microphones. So I quickly rigged up the receiver from the new one, and that worked. But subsequently I tried the transmitter from the new one, and that didn't work. And also the receiver from the new one, the LED didn't work. So I repaired the LED on the new transmitter. I'm assuming that on the new receiver, sorry. I'm assuming that the transmitter doesn't work, but the old one works fine. But what I did do is I took the microphone, the lavalier microphone from the new microphone kit, and put it in the old transmitter, and I've had to drop the mic boost on the input on the PC, which is encouraging. And I've had several comments about, "Hi Andre, there seems to be some high pitches into..." Oh no, oh god no. Oh, I did test recordings on this as well, and I wasn't expecting it. Okay, high pitch interference. What? I can't hear what you hear, so let's see if we can fix it. So I've been rabbiting on here, and it's been awful to listen to. More than usual, I assume. Oh, so I was going to say great things about this microphone, but it's not. I'll drop this back to 90. Why would it be high-pitched interference? I'm sure this receiver picks up mobile phones and stuff. Let's see what we can do. I'll put a... It's not terrible. Oh well, it's not terrible. That's good. Let me know if this... I'll put this noise suppression thing on. And see if that clears it up at all. I really need to do some work on this audio thing. Seems gone now already. Ah, well, okay. Let's just troubleshoot this for a second, because I think when you said it sounded better, I don't think you'd be able to hear the noise reduction filter because it was too quick. I'm going to toggle the noise reduction. I've dropped the input level, but I'm going to toggle this. I've got the noise suppression filter on now. I'm going to toggle it off. So I've just toggled the noise suppression filter off. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing. That's noise suppression filter off. Now I'm going to turn it on again. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3. So that's with the noise suppression filter on. It's at minus 30 decibels. I don't know what the hell that means. So it's worse. Ah, right. But which was it worse with the noise suppression filter on? On is excellent. Okay. We're gonna have to stick with the noise suppression filter, I think. Some people didn't like that, but yeah. All right then. Let's go with this. On is excellent. I'll have to listen to this back then tomorrow and see what's what. Thanks, Andre. Anyway, it looks like there's no easy, cheap method of getting good sound without having to compensate with filters. But this microphone is definitely louder. There's no question about that. And I figured that if the louder your input, the louder your signal. Obviously, it's all about noise to signal ratio. And I figured if the microphone's louder, it's probably going to be better. So at least we've got something to work with. Okay, so Andre says the sound's really good now. So let's get back to this. Okay, so this board's got two things in it. It's also got, and we've got a printout here that the owner kindly sent in of the installation instructions, which I didn't install this, but this is the set up your Atari 448 52 kilobyte RAM card. So as you can see, the RAM in this machine has been completely replaced by this RAM card, which is also produced by Jürgen. So as you can see, Jürgen just produces a lot of really excellent stuff. Is this card fully pushed home? It seems a bit off center. There we go. So that's in. So it's got all the kit in it, this thing. Now the owner wants also a different operating system flashed to this EEPROM, so I need to get that done pronto, but I'll probably do it tomorrow because I need to erase the chip first, which I forgot to do today. But anyway, what I wanted to show you primarily, I mean, this is basically finished. So we've got the cable coming. The cable was really long as it was provided in the box, but the cable here, I've shortened it significantly. Now, since I've got this video jack on the back of the power board here, which you can see here, standard low profile jack, this is where the channel selector switch used to be for the RF modulator, so it's been removed. Legs come out the bottom here. Had to grind away all the plate. And what I wanted to do here, I didn't want to make a direct connection, even though these wires are held in with, I forget the name of these connectors, the little screw terminal boxes. I wanted to make this, I didn't want this board to be tied to this board for the purposes of maintenance and things. So we've got a push fit connector, which I kind of cobbled together here. And now the question was where to run the cable. So obviously some people have decided to run the cable out the back. Some people have decided to run the cable all over the place. I forget what the original suggested positioning was for this cable, but anyway, I discovered something really nice, and I will show you. I don't know, I know Stephen posted some photographs on Atari Age showing how he had positioned his cable. I think, I'm not sure whether that was an 800, I can't remember offhand, but anyway, I'll show you how I've done it, and I think it looks quite economical. So if we get the motherboard, need extra hands here, but if we get the motherboard dropped into position here, there we go, it's in. So there's the motherboard resting on the stays in the big Faraday cage here. Now what I decided to do, if you can see, can you see here? There's a lip of metal which goes around the gap between the bottom of the motherboard and the bottom plate here, which is going to have an insulation card. So I filed this out, and this wire now sits in that little groove, and then obviously it springs out all the time. Andre, so what's the basic function of this board? RGB out? No, not RGB out, Andre. It's the 800 didn't have any kind of composite video or S-video, which was, you know, accessible. All it had was RF via a cable hardwired to the back of the machine. Obviously the composite signals and the YC video were present on the board, but they were never brought out the back. And you can add that, you can tap those signals off the board. Loud hums when you move your left arm. Blimey. Maybe this mic's just too sensitive. I don't know. Maybe the sound's worse. Odd. Okay, keep me posted. I appreciate the feedback on the sound. Maybe I'll just keep my left arm still. It's probably what was in my left arm when I moved it that was the problem. Anyway, yeah, so this board just outputs really good quality video. So it replaces the whole CPU board. So anyway, you can see that the cable comes out here. Oh, there we go. And if we flip it over, and the power board's going to go on here, like so. There we are. So it's in the shield, it's more or less ready to drop into the case, and we plug the monitor in the back. We'll have the capture card and some power. Let's get some 9-volt power, and we will power on. I'll just hold this together for a moment. We'll get our capture card on the screen, switch on, and then push down this little thing here, and there we get a picture. And I'll full screen that for you for a moment. Add another scene. C910. I wish I had a 400 for this card, says Andre. Yeah. I haven't got one, I don't own one. There we go. Okay. Multimedia experience. So there's our picture. As you can see, it's rather nice. It's very nice. The definition is really good. I don't think we get the keyboard rigged up without actually reassembling the machine. Let's have a go. Where's the case? I'll keep the bottom case to one side rather, and then I'll be able to show you the more or less what it's going to look like when it's done, and we get to test this marvelous little keyboard. It's El Cheapo keyboard, membrane keyboard. We'll just pop this out of the case for a minute. How's the audio, Andre? Oh, this is a complete swine to try and put in, of course. Good idea to remove this so I can get better access to this. There we are. Fine now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to spend some time on this. I wish I knew there was someone here who really knew about sound. I mean, someone here that could actually set it up. There we go. Keyboard on. I think we need a piece of blue tack on that little switch thing. There we go. But you can see where I'm coming from. I would imagine that if the signal from the microphone is more powerful, it should give more leeway when it comes to actually trying to generate a decent signal. I don't quite know what I'm going to do with this, because it's got a 400 OS, so I don't know what we can actually accomplish with it. Power up again, type stuff and things. Come on, get on. There we go, we've got power. Why is it every time I try and turn a machine on this video channel, it red screens automatically, just as a matter of course. There we go. Right. Maybe it's the microphone crashing these machines. Oh, Atari, prod away. Can I rest you on there like that? YouTube. It's not that bad. It's probably take some getting used to. What can we even try and run on this to just show that it works? I suppose we could kind of auto boot something on this machine. We'll find the where is the SIO to PC? Make sure that this keyboard doesn't fall off as well. I'll take the keyboard out because it's worrying me a bit. There we go. Right, so we'll watch that cap. Okay. See if we can boot something. What can we boot? What can we boot? Turn off divisor 0, boot Atari executable. I don't know. Let's see. We got something on an ATR that we could use. What could we use? I wonder if this works. Looks to be better than the horrible video pack keyboard. Was that the one that gave you a full travel keyboard on the 400? English is fine. No cartridge. Yeah, well, I guess cartridge would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Like what? What about? I wonder if this works. Does this work? I'm not even sure it does. Don't think the Uno cart works on the 400, does it? Nah, it certainly does not. The Philips video pack. Oh, right, I see. I didn't know about that. Oh, that's new to me. Video pack. I've never heard of that one. There must be something on a cartridge I can use here. What works? I've got some cartridges. Let's see what we've got in the box here. To the side of room. Got a couple of them Atari Max cartridges with unknown contents. We could try those. Could be exciting. Let's try that then. I'm sure one of them's got Gauntlet on it. Let's try that. See what happens. Nothing. Of course, I could have the RAM card configured wrongly. Nah, nothing. Not a thing. Needed extreme force to push those keys. Demon attack. Gotten so used to these SD card and flash solutions that, yeah, I don't think one of these modern cards will work it quite right. I'll tell you what I'll do anyway now, is we'll just sort of temporarily drop this in the bottom half of the case and see how the jack lines up at the back, and then really it's just a question of getting that OS-ROM flashed, and then we will put it together and we'll be done, which I need to do as quickly as possible, really, as the bank holiday will soon be over. Probably could drop a couple of screws in here just for the time being, just so we can get the thing in the case, just so you can see what it looks like. I spent most of the evening working on the technical documentation for the new Ultimate 1 MB BIOS, which, wow, what a process that is as well. I just didn't think it would take that long to update it for all the plugins and that sort of stuff, because I changed quite a lot there at the last minute, in a way that hopefully makes more sense. So there we go. So this is just temporary, just so we can see how well things line up once the machine is put back together. It's very difficult to get that doesn't seem to like that screw, does it? It's very difficult to get the hole for the jack to line up perfectly. Oh, drop the screw. Does this use a shorter screw? Let's see. I think that's all the screws there are for this machine. Oh, that one goes in. That one in full travel. Okay. I forget to put the speaker back in this machine as well. Alright, drop this in here. Oh. I think this cable's going to have to be twisted around a little bit. Okay, what? Are we going to have a clearance issue with the cable? Probably, I wouldn't be surprised. That seems to sit flat. Blimey, tight squeeze. Okay. Does that RAM card provide 64K? I think 52K of RAM is the most you'll get, because there's no way of turning off the ROM on the 400 and 800. You know, there's no port to write to turn the ROM off. So the ROM is always there. So the most you're going to get, was minus the 10K for the operating system ROM and the 2K for the hardware registers, is well, it closes. It closes. Excellent. But I didn't put the little this thing in just to get it to kind of work. We'll pop a bit of blue tack in there so it stays shut. Good enough. And then that's going to go on there, kind of thing. And we'll just plug this in. Oh, you want to have a look at it anyway. Give you a quick look. So how did it turn out? It turned out not bad at all. It's not dead center, but they rarely are. So there is the jack, and we should be able to power on one more time. I've let this power lead disappear. There we go, still works. So yeah, I didn't really think what I was going to do with this machine. I'm not used to using the original 400 OS. I don't know where the hell to start to actually run something on it that's to hand. I should have planned ahead there. We could have watched some nice demos or something like that. But anyway, you get the general idea. The video is really nice. Have another look at this. It doesn't really come across on the capture card, but when you actually see it on the LCD display, it's the weight of the characters and the clarity and the color, which you can tweak, of course, with the pot. I don't know if I've got that spot on. Are really nice, very nice indeed. So all that remains to do is erase the EEPROM on this RAM board, put the OS that was requested on there. Andre says it looks great. Well, thank you, Andre. I appreciate it very much. It's always nice when it turns out well, and the last two have turned out very well, aesthetically very nicely. But and this one's just been a dream. It's just absolutely no problems whatsoever. Just went together without any issues at all, which is kind of as you would expect from Jürgen and his fantastic hardware devices. So yes, a very welcome addition to the fold of upgrades for this generation of machine. So since I have a few things to do before we can get this back to his home, I will bid you farewell and probably go away and analyze the audio on this video and see if it was actually a good idea or not to change the microphone for the new one. We'll find out. We'll get there eventually. It may be that I'm just situated in a sort of a hotspot of microwave energy and radio frequency noise. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see. So yes, please provide some links to Jürgen's site. Thanks for the reminder, Andre. I'll do that. Yes. I should probably do it straight away because I'll forget if I don't. So with that in mind, it's just been a fairly short one. Hope the audio wasn't too bad that you couldn't make head or tail of it. So I will leave you now and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and thank you, Andre, for your feedback on the audio and for being in chat. So I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.